So, should a virtual speech be live or should it be recorded? That is the big question when it comes to virtual conferences, and for the last couple of weeks I've done a bunch of both of these, mostly live I have to say, but also a couple of recorded ones. So which one is the winner? And at the end of the video I will announce the winner! And I also will announce my preference, which will be slightly different. I recently had a briefing call with a client in Africa. I said, well, as a speaker, which one is your preference? And I said a preference, and I will soon let you know what I said to the client. But I have now evaluated, based on my experience of doing both live and virtual, I have done a list, and we can look at the pros and cons with each. So here we have it. We're going to evaluate the winner based on nerve, safety, interaction, and how much work it is to do these two versions of virtual speaking. So let's go in and look at the list. First of all, which one has more nerve? Well, obviously, live has more nerve. Think about a TV show. If you watch a recorded soccer game or you look at a real soccer game live, of course, watching it live creates more nerve when you're watching it because you don't really know what's going to happen. You want to show anything you watch, you want to show it live, it creates this nerve. You don't really know what's going to happen. And that's also the disadvantage. Something can happen and we don't really know what's going on. If it's recorded, it's safer. If we screw up, we can redo it. If something happens, we can start over again. It's less stressful, but that also makes it feel that doesn't have so much nerve. There's just not as much at stake. Now, this is a recorded video, but I'm recording it only once, which makes me feel like I'm doing it live, and that creates like a nerve, but it's also recorded. It's also a recorded video. If something totally goes wrong, let's say the camera dies, I can actually redo it. It's like a parachute. I have one extra parachute on my back. So live wins on the first one. Which one is safer? Well, for the same reason, the opposite here is true. The recorded video is more safe. Let's say something happens, the camera breaks, the lights go out, I can redo it. I say something wrong, I can start over again. And that is the big advantage with recording. You can get it absolutely the way you want it. You can create a very smooth speech experience, but without the nerve. Which one has more interactions? Well, there, live is going to win because the recorded video just doesn't have any reaction. The only reaction you can do in a recorded video is to ask rhetorical questions, but that's not much of interaction now, is it? Now with a live speech, you can use the chat box, you can use interactive tools like Menti and so on, and you can also go in and do a Q&A with the audience afterwards. Of course, you can do a recorded part of the speech and then go in and do the last part live, which kind of uses the two parts equally well on these two alternatives. Now finally, which one has the more work? This one might surprise you. Is it more work to do a live speech or is it more work to do a recorded speech? My experience is that actually more work to do a recorded speech. Now why is this? Because when you send the speech off to the client, they can watch it and they can say, oh, I think you stumbled on a word there. Can you record it one more time, please? Because they want it to be a smooth speech experience. That's the advantage of recording, and that means they're going to ask you to do it over and over again. I just did a speech where I had to record a speech 4 times before we got it right. Perfectly right. Now, if you do it live, if you stumble on a word or two, then that's okay, because everyone knows it live and you can't get everything right all the time. So it actually turns out to be more work to do it recorded. Now, so who is the winner? Look at this. We have 2-2. There has to be a winner. Which is the winner? Well, I told you before, I will give you my answer. And my answer is that actually, I prefer to do it live. Partly because I love the idea of nerve, partly because I'm not so concerned with technology failing. I actually haven't had any experience of the technology failing dramatically. I had a problem a week ago or two. One camera totally just died in the middle of the speech, but luckily I have 2 cameras. I just switched to the other camera and continued my speech. So no big screw-ups, and that means I'm not so stressed out about something going wrong. But finally, I actually prefer to do it live because then I do my speech once. I can put all that oomph into the speech. But if you record it over and over and over again, you might lose a little bit of that freshness, that oomph, the feeling that you get when it's live. But that's not the answer to which one is best. That's just my preference. Now, what is the answer to what is best, recorded or live? The answer is yes! The answer is both are correct. So who are you going to pick? We're going to pick the one the client wants. If the client wants to go live, we go live. If the client wants to be recorded, we record and we re-record and we re-record until the client is happy. It doesn't matter. Both techniques work, and now I hope that in this short little video I have shown you the advantages and the disadvantages of both, because when we know the advantages and the disadvantages, we can plan accordingly on how we are going to deliver our speech. That's the lesson today from me, Fredrik Haren, a professional speaking, encouraging you to go out and to become the best speaker you can, in person or in virtual, in live or in recorded. Doesn't matter, it's just the format of delivery. What matters for us is to get our message out. Now go out and get your message out.